I can't see a thing, Jim.
Well, hold on.
I swear, it's always some damn thing. Wait, got it. Ah, hell, this thing ain't gonna hold.
Shut up.
Damn, you're ugly.
You girls strapped in nice and tight now. Tighter than your mama leg. That's a good one, man. Locked in and cruising.
What you got for me out there, Joey Ray?
We got Terran for sure. I don't know about the rest. We got a big old buttload of floating debris out here.
Woo-wee! We hit pay dirt this time for sure. Explain to me, how are we gonna get all this home? I'm detached and moving toward the derelict spacecraft.
Damn it, Jim. Video's out again.
Well, quit picking at it.
I ain't picking at it, damn it. I'm out here with a hinge of my giddy up and here and there. Here's Jack. Hold on, I got visual.
Hey, what's up guys? Long time no see. This is Gary Oak with another Let's Play after many years of doing one, or attempting to do one. And as you might have guessed, this is not just StarCraft, but StarCraft Remastered. At the time of recording, StarCraft Remastered has just come out, and I'm rather old, so I remember when StarCraft 1 originally came out. I was around 10 or 11 years old. I think I was 11 at the time. So it's been a while since I played these campaigns. I've played them many times, but it's been several years, so figured I may as well go through this campaign for YouTube. Of course, I'll be quiet during the mission briefings because they have really good narration.
Adjutant online. Good evening, Magistrate. I'll fill you in on what's been happening. Confederate traffic has increased substantially within the system due to the recent Protoss destruction of the Chow Sara colony. The Confederates have tightened security on all outlying systems, and it's likely that this colony will be locked down as well. An encrypted Confederate transmission came for you while you were at dinner. Replaying transmission.
Greetings, Magistrate. I'm General Edmund Duke of the Confederate Security Forces Alpha Squadron. The Confederacy has quarantined this entire planet, and we'll proceed with a lockdown within 48 hours. You're to relocate your core colonists to the outlying wastelands. Now, I know there won't be any problems with these new arrangements.
Transmission ended. I have contacted the local marshal, James Rayner. Rayner has agreed to meet your personnel en route and escort them to the new wasteland site.
Commander.
Now, what's awesome about a remaster like this is,
These Confederates think they can push anybody around.
what's great about this remastered version of the game is that a lot of people have never played StarCraft before and they're playing it for the first time.
Howdy, boys. I'm Jim Rayner, Marshal of these parts.
Raider here.
So it's quite cool to see a lot of blind Let's Plays of this, but as I said earlier, this is absolutely not a blind Let's Play.
Right on. That should be good.
Let's target passable terrain. Oh, jeez.
Right on.
It's been a long time since I played the original StarCraft, and one thing I did with this remastered is I actually decided to rebind a lot of the hotkeys to something more logical, which is one of the biggest gripes I had with the original StarCraft, right, is the old hotkeys were pretty bad, pretty archaic, and there's nothing you could really do about it without modifying the client.
This should be good. Right on.
Report for duty.
Standing by. This is Jimmy.
So, basically, being able to rebind them, it's a lot more newbie-friendly, and this game is really difficult to get into for new players. That was also a completely wasted mine.
Commander. Oh, yeah.
So basically, this mission, it's pretty simple. You just build units, and that's about it. You don't have to kill any of the Zerg on the map, but I always did for fun as a kid. Hopefully I've got the sound and music levels rather good. I did a test recording earlier, and it sounded fine, and since then I lowered the volume just a little bit, just to make sure you can hear me properly.
This is Jimmy.
What I'm hoping is that I'll be able to provide some decent commentary while playing the game, especially on the more intense maps where I'm going to have to resist the urge to be quiet.
At this facility.
Orders, Captain. Orders received.
Standing by. Go, go, go.
Like how you get some minerals up here as if you're going to need to expand.
Good to go. Right on. You want a piece of me, boy?
SCV good to go, sir. Yes, sir. Orders received.
So basically all I gotta do is build those Marines. Do I need to build anything else here? No, just 10 Marines. Harkening back to the good old days of Warcraft 2 and rebuild 4 farms and a barracks, and
You want a piece of me, boy?
Warcraft 1 where it's 6 farms and a barracks.
Right on. Sounds fun.
They did have a tutorial, but this is a very much learn by doing type of ordeal here.
Go ahead. Want a piece of me, boy? Right on.
Where the first several maps just basically say, okay, this is what this unit does, this is what that unit does. You should preferably use this unit correctly in order to beat the mission efficiently.
Anytime you're ready.
That's not always the case, but
Right on.
it is in a lot of cases.
Rock and roll.
I just said case 3 times. That's useful.
Anytime you're ready.
One thing I do like is that Remastered gives you a little APM clock and in-game clock, so you can see just how slowly I'm playing. Although these missions aren't exactly too taxing. So for the first video I was thinking of just doing, I don't know, 3 missions and then probably doing 1 mission per video after that, because,
Piece of me, boy.
as I said, the first few levels of the Terran campaign are basically just a really extended tutorial. So this would be a pretty short first video. I mean, we're 4 minutes of real-time into the game,
Piece of me, boy.
playing at max speed, and there you go. And it's as simple as that. I even prolonged the mission by losing a couple Marines because I didn't really care enough to micro.
Receiving incoming transmission. Comlink established.
Hey, what's up, man? Got your refugees tucked in nice and tight? Provided you can sidestep any more surprises from our Confederate friends and we can keep them away from those critters, they should have an easy time.
Priority alert. Backwater station under attack by unknown alien organisms. Distress beacon activated at 0658. Alerting Confederate headquarters on Tarsonis. Stand by for incoming transmission.
We've already received the distress beacon from Backwater, and we'll take care of it. You just sit tight. You'll be notified if there's anything we think you need to know.
Damn. Listen, if we wait for Confederate reinforcements, that station's dust. I'll head out there now and do what I can. You send in some militia, and we'll save those folks. Trust me. Glad to see you, boys. Time to kick some serious butt.
One thing I've noticed is that the, alright, I rebound lift to Q. I went to hit L, and realized that's a really terrible keybind. One thing I've noticed is there's been quite a bit of controversy regarding the unit portraits, or especially the hero portraits. Like, Jim Raynor over here, it's a lot different than what I always thought it looked like back when I was a kid, and even as an adult. So I'm not really too sure how to feel about it. They're definitely distinct. It's like, for example, you see Duke and Raynor in their power armor, or, well, their spacesuits, or whatever you call them. As opposed to, it didn't look like actual armor that they were wearing. But I guess it kind of makes sense, considering you always see them in their armor get-ups. Well, not always, but usually. And, for example, Warfield from StarCraft 2. He's always in his armor.
Anytime you're ready. What the hell is that? Looks like the ground there is alive. Go ahead.
I don't really care if Raynor takes the damage. It's actually better if he takes the damage, because he's got 3 armor, and Zerglings do very, very low damage to him. Because they only have a base of 5 attack, or a value of 5 attack. Actually, I don't even need that. I can just lift this off and move it.
Go ahead, Commander. These things have been out here a while, but they couldn't produce. You got my attention. Fire it up. You got it.
Reporting for duty. Affirmative. Orders, Captain?
Did I accidentally hit my tell my command center to rally to the mineral patch? Yeah, that doesn't quite work in StarCraft 1. Automine was not a thing, for better or for worse.
I read you. Affirmative.
Now, speaking of hotkeys, it is absolutely a good thing that you can rebind, because
Good to go, sir.
like, hotkeys are supposed to be responsive, right? Like, that's one way to increase your APM, is to have really really responsive hotkeys, and that means they generally should be mapped to roughly the left side of your keyboard. I forgot to rebind the U238 shells. It's still U. It should be something better, like maybe E. I'd have to go and check that. But tell me, what's easier for you to hit? Is it E for Marine or M for Marine? In Brood War, they thought, well, Marine starts with M, so we may as well just have it M. And turns out that's not that good.
Reporting for duty. I can't build there.
Fire it up.
Now, I shouldn't need to dilly-dally around this mission too long, because
You want a piece of me, boy?
it's not like the Zerg are able to build anything. Yeah, just throw a couple fire bats in there.
Not enough minerals.
Spend all our money. You always want to spend all your money in StarCraft or any RTS game, generally.
You want a piece of me, boy?
Well, as long as you can mine it.
Job finished.
That's one thing I liked about StarCraft as opposed to Warcraft 3, is that you don't get penalized for having a large army in StarCraft. It's encouraged. In Warcraft, I really hated the upkeep, yeah, the upkeep. For some reason I was thinking of saying the word tax. Basically you have to pay like an army tax on all the money that you gather, and it just doesn't feel right, you know?
Reporting for duty. Affirmative.
I like to be able to just mass a shitload of units and have fun with them.
Orders, Captain?
I forget, can you rally after, or not rally, but waypoint after you assign to build a structure?
Reporting for
I'll try that.
duty. Right away, sir.
So, this guy should go to this mineral patch once this is done, because I shift-clicked on it. That's the only waypointing you can do in Brood War, by the way. I know there's, like, super limited waypointing. That's about it, though. See if I can bait these guys into a mine. Micro. Got him. That was poor micro. Made up for it, though. They just derped in front of the Marine fire and died.
This should be good. Right on. Oh, yeah.
Speed Vultures are so powerful against Zerglings, especially ones with Raynor's attack. Ah, see? He did mine, so you can do that. You can waypoint once after you finish building a structure. It's good to be able to remember that.
piece of me, boy.
Which barracks isn't rallied? They should all be rallied. I don't know why he just popped and stood there. This game just feels so empty without medics, you know, because Stimpack is such a heavy cost. Or it is such a heavy cost associated with it. Well, this is more than enough units to just completely thrash whatever they have. Just a bunch of Lings and Hydralisks. Now if I were smart, I would have bound all my Firebats into one group and had them go first. Firebats have 50 HP, right? So they're tankier? Oh, I can build eBay.
Your forces are under attack.
Whoopsie. Oh, I don't even have Stimpack yet.
Research complete.
There we go. Just want to stim a few of them. Doesn't matter, but it's good to get in proper habits.
What the hell did they do to that command center?
I say that as I stim my entire army to blow this up. That's all I gotta do to win, though.
Receiving incoming transmission.
Marshal Rayner, by destroying a vital Confederate installation, you and your men have violated standing colonial law. As of right now, you're all under arrest. I suggest you throw down your weapons and come peaceably.
You're out of your mind. If we hadn't burned that damn factory, this entire colony could have been overrun. Maybe if you hadn't taken your sweet time in getting here.
Now, I asked you nice the first time, boy. I didn't come here to talk with you. Now throw down them weapons.
Guess you wouldn't be a Confederate if you weren't a complete pain in the ass.
Now, one little bit of trivia. Depending on which unit gets close to the command center first, you get a different line of asking what the hell did they do to that command center. So, like, you can have a Firebat, Marine. I'm not sure if SCVs actually say anything. After all these years, nearly 20 years, I don't know if SCVs actually have a trigger line there. I'll have to check. Ah, the first cutscene. It wasn't until subtitles that I knew exactly what they were saying, believe it or not.
Hey, Sarge, why we always gotta listen to this shit for anyway? 'Cause I'm in charge, that's why. Oh, it don't seem like no good kind of reason to me. Awesome. Hey, what's that? Hold on right in a second. Steamroller! Looks like you mashed some poor fella's dog, Sarge.
It's a Zerglin, Lester. Smaller type of Zerg. They can be out this far unless... Oh, shit.
I love you, Sarge.
See, the dialogue makes sense when you read it, but I always thought they said other things. At least in the last half of it.
Receiving incoming transmission. Comlink established.
I got your message, Magistrate. And frankly, I don't care what you have to say about Confederate regulations. You damn fringe world yokels are all alike. Don't know where your loyalties lie. Y'all have a real good day now, you hear?
Transmission ended. The report you requested is ready. 16 outland stations have reported sightings of the alien invaders identified as Zerg. The Confederates have arrested all standing militia forces and continue to avoid action against the Zerg. 3 stations have fallen to the Zerg already. we've been unable to locate any source of military relief except the extremist faction known as the Sons of Korhal. Their liaison is holding online.
Good day, Magistrate. My name is Arcturus Mensk, and I represent the Sons of Korhal. You're familiar with the Confederate propaganda surrounding my group, but your reputation suggests you'll see past it. It's never been our practice to operate in any one place for long, but these Zerg don't look like they're going to wait. I'm going to make you an offer, Magistrate. I'd like to help you out by sending down a number of transports to your colony and evacuating any survivors. You know, of course, that my organization operates outside the bounds of Confederate law. That's why they spread their lies and misinformation. If you decide to accept our help, you'll be branded as an outlaw too. But it's a chance to save those people. Time to make a stand, Magistrate.
Ending transmission. Priority alert. Evacuation zone under attack by Zerg forces. Distress beacon activated at 12:20.
Now, one thing I hope going forward is that my keyboard isn't too noisy, because this is the first time I've actually done a Let's Play with, It's the first time I've actually done a Let's Play with a mechanical keyboard.
Affirmative. Orders, Captain.
Oh, that interrupted Lang sequence. Feels bad. Feels bad, man.
Orders, Captain. We can take cover in these bunkers if things get too dicey. Rock and roll.
Now,
Roger that.
do you want an embarrassing piece of trivia?
What do you want?
I ask rhetorically because, short of closing the video or muting it, there's no real way you can say no. When I was a kid, I didn't know what bunkers did, and I couldn't beat this mission because I didn't use bunkers. I was not that smart. I have no idea how I'm a somewhat functional adult today. So it says to survive for 30 minutes, but you don't necessarily have to play it that way if you don't want. There are other tactics,
Go, sir. Right away, sir.
such as, you know, move in and destroy their whole fucking base. So that's what we're gonna try and do. We're gonna try to destroy every single Zerg on the map. And the only issue with that is the mission gets rather boring if you do that because you have nothing else to do.
Not enough minerals.
Reporting for duty.
Now here's a little bit of a tip. The reason I built my barracks my supply depot right there is it forces SCVs to pop out slightly closer to the minerals because they generally pop out at the bottom left of a structure's box. See how it pops there rather than the bottom left corner?
Yes, sir. Orders received.
Depending on your spawn location, you're going to want to do that to have slightly faster mining time, or slightly reduced time to get from the command center to the minerals. It's just a little minor optimization you can do.
CB good to go, sir.
Your forces are under attack.
So what I should probably do is not move out too far and build several. What I want to do is get a lot of several vultures and plant a bunch of mines, and then mainly go marine firebat.
Not enough minerals.
Vultures are fairly strong as long as I'm engaging primarily Zerglings.
SCB good to go, sir. Jacked up and good to go. Something on your mind? Give me something to shoot.
Marines or firebats are also pretty strong too against the lings. Like they just have lings, hydras, and mutalisks,
I read you.
which isn't that bad of a unit comp to have to go against.
Piece of me, boy.
Ugh. I wish I could get better turret placement here,
Right away, sir.
but that'll have to do. What I need is marine range. Probably have to pause my SCV macro for a moment if I want to build these.
SCB good to go, sir. Orders, Captain. Report for duty. Piece of me, boy. Job steady.
Just wanted a turret there because they like to harass the mineral line with mutalisks. So it's always good to take preventative measures now. I just want to keep minimal defenses at home, and then just push out with a massive force of Marines. May as well start with some weapon upgrades here too, get that rolling. The sooner you get the weapon and armor upgrades, the sooner you'll be able to increase the value of your units.
Reporting for duty. Roger that.
Base is under attack.
Right away, sir. Roger that.
I think you can rally from repairing too, can't you? Let's see. Let's see if he moves back. Maybe it's only building structures. Nope. Works off that too. So that's good. You can waypoint once, pretty much regardless. Although I'm not sure if you can do it after just a standard move command though.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
One thing I'm going to want to do as soon as I can is build another couple barracks. Unfortunately, right now I just don't have the economy to pump out Marines out of multiple racks. See, I'm just barely keeping up.
What do you want?
My money's just barely keeping up with one barracks Marines.
Job finished. Orders, Captain. Affirmative. Roger that.
Not enough minerals.
I can't build there. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Piece of me, boy.
Not enough minerals.
God, I feel so slow. Just looking down at my APM, I know it should be around like 200, but it's not much I can do outside of spamming right now.
Commander.
Your forces are under attack.
Big part of it is just getting used to the hotkeys.
Roger that. Job finished. Yes, sir.
Research complete.
Right away, sir. Roger that. Right away.
I suppose I can build the barracks down here.
SCV good to go, sir.
Okay, so the academy's done.
Piece of me, boy.
Not sure if that's enough SCVs. It should be enough workers. Yeah, they're kind of starting to have trouble mining, so we should do that. Now that I have to spend less resources on, you know, just standard base stuff like, you know, workers and technology. Oh, speaking of that, I should build a factory.
Roger that. Affirmative.
You want a piece of me, boy?
I'll be able to actually pump out Marines out of 2 racks. Hopefully I'll be able to go up to 3 soon. The unfortunate thing is... Oh, you don't even get that much gas. That's good, because there's almost no way to spend gas, which is, you know, byproduct of being the first Terran map.
Me, boy.
Job finished.
I don't know why I don't have a comsat yet. That's sloppy.
Upgrade complete.
Reporting for duty.
Base is under attack. Not enough minerals.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
May as well get ahead on the supply depots. I probably went a bit overboard because it's starting to hinder my production just a little bit.
Not enough minerals. Add-on complete. Minerals.
Yeah, I see the Zerger about right here. Yep. The Zerg are fairly spread out.
Reporting for duty.
I'm not sure how big their standing army is, actually.
Not enough minerals.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Oh, that's another rookie mistake I made when I was younger, is I didn't appreciate the value of vultures.
Piece of me, boy.
I just thought vultures were absolute garbage. Because I didn't understand how potent spider mines were and how well vultures fought against Zerglings.
Not enough minerals.
So I want to get mines first. I think... I'm not sure what you're supposed to get in a proper professional build order. You're supposed to go mines or
Not
speed
enough
first.
minerals.
I guess it really depends. If you're trying to harass with vultures really early on, you're going to want
Not
speed.
enough minerals.
Because speed lets you kind of get in, get out. It gives Terran a lot of mobility, which is something that you don't usually have as a mech player, because mech Terran is the slowest thing in the game, right? But vultures provide a decent harassment tool.
I read you. Affirmative. Roger that.
But if you're trying to be, I guess it really depends on how
Affirmative.
badly you feel you need the mines.
Boy. You want a piece of me, boy?
Yeah? I read read you, sir.
Alright, so we got 5 vultures. I forgot to rebind ion thrusters. It's still I. Whoopsie.
No problem. Yeah? Something on your mind? What are you on? No problem.
No! My vulture!
What are you on?
You have so many more mines to lay.
Yeah? Yeah, I'm going. No problem. What are you on? No
And macro slipped.
Not enough minerals.
Because I just don't have the attention or the APM to do that. Go repair there.
Something on your mind? No problem.
Upgrade
I
complete.
dig. You want a piece of me, boy? I dig.
Oh, mines. Mines are so delightful. They're just free damage.
Yeah?
I guess we'll just go Marine Vulture for now. See, the mines are able to single-handedly hold an entire front.
I dig.
And we've got ion thrusters, that's good.
I dig.
You want the ion thrusters.
You want a piece of me, boy?
Because it lets you do stuff like kite zerglings.
What are you on?
Commander, jacked up and good to go. Let's move.
So what we're gonna do is just send a massive wave as soon as we can.
You want a piece of me, boy? Right away, sir.
One thing I should have been doing earlier is actually building a semi-wall off of supply depots. This isn't a tight wall, like zerglings can squeeze through there.
Something on your mind?
Because yeah, I just supply block myself expertly.
No problem. What are you on? Something on your mind? Yeah, I'm going. I'm finished. I dig.
At least we're keeping our money fairly low.
On. Yeah?
Alright, looks like they're done.
Not enough minerals.
Yeah, this seems to be the limit of my macro ability here on this map.
I read you, sir.
So this is really good, right? Because it lets me kind of cover my ass.
You want a piece of me,
No
boy?
problem.
I wonder if that lets me rally. No, it doesn't.
Is that it?
I don't know why I keep saying rally when I mean waypoint.
I dig.
I'd say don't look at me, I'm not an English major, but I kind of am, so...
Problem. Oh, is that
I should know better. I need to stop building depots there and start building them here. Because that wall off, it just kind of screws up the pathing of the lings.
I read you, sir.
You want a piece of me,
I'm
boy?
going. No problem.
Commander, jacked up and good to go.
Your forces are under attack.
Oh, there's an attack coming. Oh, look at that. Just free zerglings, free hydralisks.
Jacked up and good to go.
Your forces are under attack.
Let's move.
Something on your mind? Yeah?
Standing by. Let's move.
What are you on?
Your forces are under attack.
Oh dear. That's not good. I should be pulling my SCVs, but I'll be fine.
Give me something to shoot. Standing by.
Something on your mind?
And this is why I needed to build more turrets than just one.
You want a piece of me, boy? Orders received. Piece of me, boy.
All right, bring it on.
Right away, sir.
There, that should cover the mineral line.
I read you, sir. Something on your mind?
Piece of me, boy. Give me something to shoot. Rock and roll.
Now, I could build more if I wanted, but I should be alright now.
Not enough minerals.
I read you. Job's finished.
What are you on? Yeah, I'm
Just
going.
want to lay some more mines here. I wonder how bad it is if I do this with all my vultures in one control group.
Me, boy.
Oh, is that it? No problem.
I just want to get the mines out of there
Bring it on.
out of the bikes.
Oh, is that it?
You want a piece of me, boy?
Alright, so that's everything. Let's do a push.
Jacked up and good to go.
Something on your mind?
Your forces are under attack.
I reach it, sir.
Just gonna do a standard attack command. I don't really have to worry about stimming too much because it's permanent damage in support of their health. It's just not worth it most of the time.
Alright, bring it on.
I may actually do a mass stim at some point.
No problem.
Just once.
Yeah, I'm going. No problem. Oh, is that it? Yeah, I'm going. I dig.
Commander, let's move.
I reach it, sir. Oh, is that it? I dig.
It's kind of weird, but I'm actually using vultures to tank the damage here. I'll stim half my marines. Just the DPS of stim marines is insane. And see, these vultures are just shredding everything and they're absorbing damage, so even though the marines are going to get two-shot by the Sunkens, it doesn't really matter. Like, yeah, vultures are dead, but they're pretty cheap, so... And meanwhile, I'm sitting here back at home with so much money, just kind of sitting there. But that completely gutted the heart of the Zerg base. They don't have much left.
Commander, go, go, go. Rock and roll.
What does suck is the game doesn't auto-win you the level when you kill everything.
Give me something to shoot. Let's move.
How the hell? I thought I told them to attack.
You want a piece of me, boy?
Your forces are under attack.
Oh, I can just send these marines here. Alright, we're good.
Rock and roll. Go, go, go. Outstanding.
May as well kill these overlords.
Go, go, go.
I don't think the game actually creates extra units for the Zerg.
Your forces are under
They just send what they have, and I don't think they have any more ways to build stuff, so
not enough energy.
yeah, we basically just annihilated everything they have on the map, so
What do you want?
don't have to worry about shit for the rest of this map.
What do you want?
Send these guys up there.
Jacked up and good to go. Commander.
Now what I should have been doing is setting my rally points to maybe around here,
Something on your mind?
5 minutes until
so I
dropship
can keep
arrival.
doing a push, but I knew that I had enough here that it didn't matter. And that's why I wasn't like frantically going back home and building more units. But that's what you should generally be doing.
Going.
Piece of me, boy.
I dig. Yeah, I'm going. I reach it, sir.
And one reason why I keep saying, oh, I should be doing this, should be doing that, is it's good to kind of know what you're supposed to do, even if you're not good enough to do it. I mean, for me, it's partly that it's almost 2 in the morning and so I'm kind of tired and kind of rusty as well, but partly because I was just never super skilled at StarCraft in the first place.
You want a piece of me, boy?
I do have a general idea of what you're supposed to do. You know, like I know what works and what doesn't in typical cases.
Go, go, go. Let's move.
At least I'm taking this fairly slow, so there isn't too much boring downtime here, because after these Overlords and Hydroden and all that are dead, there's nothing left on the map for the Zerg. Nothing at all. Like, the amount of times I died at this stage of the map is pretty crazy. I think at around 2 minutes, they send everything they have, and if you leave them alone for the whole time, they're going to hit you extremely hard.
Not enough energy.
Because what I think the script, the AI script does is it just has them build more and more units and kind of gather just kind of gather attack forces rather than send everything they have, and they also have a lot of standing units around the whole map. So in that case, they just have so much built up over the course of half an hour that it'll be quite the wave. But again, if you have several bunkers and, you know, you do stuff like this with depot walls, you're completely fine. Like, see, they hardly even pressured my front at all. Like, I don't think this front here got attacked more than once or twice. And I just had this minefield that kept me secure. And especially against the computer, right? Because they're not smart enough to do stuff like send a couple zealots out front to play Minesweeper before the Dragoons come in. I know it's quite possible on this map to max out if you go... if you go completely crazy about it. Now this is where the humongous attack should be coming. It's also kind of weird. This one mineral patch, I haven't been able to mine it, and I've been mining fairly efficiently, right? I moved the command center right away so I could get more efficient mining. See, just now I'm able to access this 1500 mineral cluster. Apart from that, the map's resources are fairly well done in terms of how many they give you, simply because you run out of resources just as you hit the end mark, which is kind of nice for a survival map. Can't complain.
Sons of Korhal dropships approaching.
Didn't quite get rid of all the creep, but came close.
Strap yourselves in, boys.
And hey, that's it for this level, and that's it for this episode, so hopefully this turned out alright. Hopefully the recording worked well, and hopefully you all enjoyed, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.